We started in 2023 with a small idea of just automating the way content creators were creating short videos.
Clip generation is not to the point where you can post your output directly. I think every clip, AI generated clip, needs a little bit of work.
What Abhinav really likes it, I do not like it. Right? So how the AI will know?
How your industry is treated.
Scalability is a very big challenge in the agency.
How much do you think you made in that business?
We did not know about the tech that we are going to do. We were blank.
Creators as a customer base are notoriously known for not being able to pay because a lot of early creators don't have the money.
It is a misconception that we have. Creators don't pay, but they really pay.
What channel do you think? Hey guys, welcome back to Funds and Founders. Today we have on Ansh. Ansh is one of the co-founders of Quickreel. Welcome to the show, Ansh.
Thank you so much.
Why don't you give people a quick introduction? And I have this joke that retention on YouTube is less than 5 minutes. So plug yourself right now and then we'll plug you at the end.
Yeah, for sure. I'm telling a founder with building in creator economy, 4 to 5 minutes starting of the podcast, pretty crucial, is important. So let me start with my introduction. So I'm Ansh. As you know, I'm building Quickreel. Quickreel is an AI tool for content creators, brands and marketers to create short form videos from the long form video. Simple as that. Basically, we started in 2023 with a small idea of just automating the way content creators were creating short videos. So, that's how we go into the market and started building a tech product around that. And that's how right now we are at like 100K plus users on a platform and growing the good way.
Next. I like asking people, where did your entrepreneurial journey start? What was the first idea, thought that pushed you into building a company?
Definitely. My entrepreneur journey was starting from my beginning of my life. So when I was like in second grade, I used to sell stickers that I got in the matchsticks, right?
Second grade, you said?
Yeah, in the second grade. So my father used to buy some instant sticks, and then we got some stickers in that, and I used to sell that in my school. And the money that I got from that, I used to have some snacks, have some good stuff out there. And that's how, the mindset of an entrepreneur started.
How much do you think you made in that business?
What?
How much do you think you made?
I made very little, but it's good enough for a second year student that he can really eat a lot from his own pocket. I don't have to ask money from their parent. And that's what I like.
What do you think pushed you to even getting that thought, right? Because I think as a second grader, I never had the thought ki, let me get this, let me go sell this. Was there something you realized that sort of unlocked that? Is your family business friendly? Where do you get this thought process from, right?
Yeah, I would like to mention two things. First of all, I'm not belong to a very big family or very rich or very wealthy family. So I knew the value of money from the starter. So asking money from the parent was not a choice. But yeah, definitely we have to get something. If you want to get something, you will do anything for that. So the way easiest and the way I can approach was that to sell something, take money, and then make out of that. And the second thing is, to be honest, my family is a kind of a little, you can say, into the business. My father run a computer shop where he make money out of typing, internet services and all. So that was also a mindset, seeing your father earning from selling their stuff, selling their services, making money out of it. You have in mind you can also do that.
Yeah.
So that was a thing that pushed me to sell something and make money.
How do you get into tech? How do you get into building for creator economy? Why not just go and continue running your dad's shop and be part of that family business?
So when I was a teenage, or I can say when I was in college, not in college, but in school, I was going out. My dad told me one thing: I don't want you to run a shop. So that was in my mind, okay, now that's not the way. I don't have to go in that direction. I have to build my something own or find a job or anything that I would really want to do, but by my own. So what is the best way I can do? Because I was pretty good in tech, right? And the reason is my father have a computer shop that I mentioned earlier. I have early access of computers. I have early access of internet among my peers. So I knew the things earlier before anyone can getting in my peers. So I have that earlier advantage. And when I was just get out of my school, I went to Kota for like 7 to 9 months, and then COVID happened. I came back to my hometown. I had a lot of free time to do something. And at the time, because I knew like I was good at social media, I can do something about that. I am good at sales, that I know it from the early stage of my life. I started a digital marketing agency.
Got it.
I started this with my co-founder. He was my friend from 11th and 12th standard. We are pretty good friend at the time, right? Also, so we both started this agency where I used to handle the social media part of it, and my founder was used to take care of the tech. And we scaled it to a very good number. We were earning a lot through that. That was enough to like really give a lot of money to a just school pass out to that. So that's how I really got to know more about tech because of my co-founder. And then the real thing happens after that. That was we shifted more into the creator economy, helping creators and all. So yeah, that's the thing that pushed me over
So why switch from a service business to tech, right? So because if you're making and if you're comfortable saying like what yearly revenue was, because from that perspective, the logical decision is keep growing the service company, right? Why make the switch?
I think if you want to make money, running a service agency is the best option you can do. But if you have different plans in your life, like for me, money is one part, but the second part is like I want to make a lot of it, right? So, and other thing is like I really do not want only just go for just making money. I just want to make some changes, maybe in my life, maybe in some other people's life. So the earlier goal from changing from a service based company to building a tech product out there was a mindset to build something really, really big that is solving a problem not for 10 50 clients but for like a million people out.
So you're saying scalability, right? Because running a service agency, you're selling time.
Correct.
And selling time is always capped, right? If you have 4 employees, you can only do 160 hours a week.
Right.
So you're capped at what top line revenue could be, right? So was it the scalability unlock that you wanted to do, or was it more like you said, building once and sort of impacting a million times versus repeatedly needing to build for clients, right?
I guess so both, but the major thing was if I tell you like to solve for like a millions of keywords. So like if you are solving a very simple problem into the market and it is getting used by millions of people, definitely it's a very big thing you are doing for the like a globe, or I can say for the bird. So that was into my mind like let's do that. As you said about the scalability part, definitely scalability is a very big challenge in the agency, but what you can really tackle it for the scalability part, you can get more clients. Like if you are handling 10, you can handle 50. When you are making an agency larger, you can make 100, 200, 500,000 maybe. There's some big agencies in the world are doing that. So that's also a part, but the major part was just solve for the very big people out.
So you go from building a service agency to building tech, right? Was Quickreel your first idea, or where did you start, and what was the transition to the product that Quickreel is today?
Definitely. So, idea. I mean, when I just started out, idea was just coming out in my mind like every day, something new, something I really see it out, and I feel like I have to solve it. And nowadays, I also get ideas every day. Okay, this should be solved. This should be solved. But for the quickly was the thing, it was just not an idea. It was a problem that I was solving earlier. So as I said, when I was shifting from my agency to building quickly, between that, I used to work with a lot of content creators. So I first started working with Kamya Jan. She is the founder of Curly Tales. I have done internship there. I have done work for them. And as I said, I work for them. I used to create short video from her podcast. Right.
So your background was video editing. You were doing the raw editing.
Yeah. And it used to take me like 2 to 3 hours in just creating a reel. And
Less than 60-second reel.
yeah, for a 60-second reel, it was used to take me like a 2 to 3 hours. And when I was doing that, I was just thinking about that, like why I'm doing 2 to 3 hours for just editing a single reel, which can be done by a use of tech in just 1 to 2 minutes. That was a thing, and I literally at the time I searched for some alternative that I can use and reduce my time to edit those reels, and I didn't find anyone. And that's the idea I discussed with my co-founder. Okay, can we automate that? First of all, it will help us. It was not an idea that we will build a startup around that. First of all, it was if it will help us, that's great. And once we get it to at a stage when we realize, okay, this can be built and we are the best team to build it out. We thought, okay, we have an idea to build something really big that can help millions of users. We have a really great idea, we can say, and we have a problem statement that is already getting solved. It is getting validated. People are paying for it, and it is saving money and cost for people. So let's work on that, and that's how we started working on it.
How long did it take to go from let's build this tech to I have a working version of this tech that produces good out?
If I tell you honest, it took us like a couple of months, because when we just started with the idea, we did not know about the tech that we are going to. We were blank. To be honest, the idea was like, just put a website, just put something people can upload, just get something they can get out of it. That was a simple idea. We will just launch this website out of it, and we will go with it. We will iterate, we will change, we will launch new things and all with the time. But that was the idea. But just for that thing, it took us like couple of months to just get live. So if I tell you, like in October 2023, we just thought, okay, now let's build it out. And then in March 2023, we first launched our MVP.
Word.
And the MVP was pretty crappy, if I tell you. I don't know at that time we were connected or not, but I shared it with some of the peers. And what happened? When I shared it with like 50 or 100 people out there, 90 of the people did not get the link. Like it was not able to open in their website. So there was some SSL certificate error and all. But the 10 people really saw it. And out of 10, like 6-7 videos were processed. 2-3 were get stuck into the processing. But the 3-4 people, they were really blown up. Because at the time, like AI wasn't a very big thing out there. And when people were seeing it, people were saying, okay, how it really finded out important part from my video. It was not edited, but it just finded out the important part. And they really loved it. And that gave us a push. Okay, now let's do it.
So that push you to more, let's double down and build this tech and make it better, right?
Right.
How did you guys do customer acquisition, right? So you have an MVP, you're making the MVP better, but are you focusing on tech? Are you focusing on customer acquisition, feedback? Where is your energy split?
Definitely, I would say, like, I think we are lucky into this thing because I am the person who is into sales and marketing, and my co-founder is something who is great at tech. So we complement each other, and we know like our strength, and we know each other's strengths. So because I do not have to take care of tech because of my co-founder, I have the full energy to go into the marketing, sales, experimenting 100 things at a single time. And that's how I started. I was very big on LinkedIn, right? I used to create connection. I used to send emails. I used to send LinkedIn requests to everyone whom I really admire or really want to talk. Nowadays, I also do that. So that was the idea. I just messaged people around I was connected or people I really want them to use. I really messaged some of the people like the Kame Jani I have worked with. I sent her the MVP and all, and they liked it, right? And that's how we were growing out. And luckily, in a month or so, we had like 250 and 500 users. And after that,
These are all free users, paid users, or
no, in the initial time, we have a lot of free users. And yeah, I mean, that's a different topic that if we go into that direction. Like, India is pretty big on paid user, but if you see from a global and product like Quickreel, you should initially go with a free version. But yeah, definitely. I was telling like we have like 250 or 500 users. After that, there was something happened with our product where somebody posted a reel about a alternate product was presented into the market, was doing something kind of that we are doing it. And somebody put out a comment on below that like Quickreel is doing much better. Just see it out. And that single day we got like 1,000 users.
nice.
So we thought, okay, now it's good. And then there's a word of mouth thing. If you are making a product free, if people are using it, people will recommend. You will get pushed by Google. You will push by internet. You will be pushed by social media. So you will get a lot of users. And that's what we got into the initial time. And luckily right now we are sitting at like 125k users globally.
So how are you guys funding this, right? So you started, you have an idea, let's go build tech.
Yeah.
You have free users, right? So how did you guys fund the initial 6 to 8 months of building the startup, right?
Definitely. I would say like doing the work with creator really helped me. I used to make a lot in that. So I mean, before joining college, I used to earn like a more than a lakh or two per month, right? And that gave me a pretty good amount of runway. And to be honest, like if you are a bachelor, if you are just a college student living in Delhi, in Rohini Sai, you can really survive in 20 to 30 supplement per month, right? You do not need that kind of price. So you save a lot. So that money really helped me to get low into the few months. Yes. But initially after that, really like you really get burned out of the money, right? There was some time वो मनी भी कितना चलेगा है ना, there are some time वो भी खर्च हो गए होगा. So that also happened in our case. Then we started reaching out to some investors and all, and luckily we got funded by one of the investor, GSF. They really saw a spark in us, and we got a little money from them. Also, a content creator, Saili Rai, she's a founder of Cocktail. So she also invested in us. She was one of our initial users. So that gave us a very good amount of runway to build out the product, get to more users, and get into the market.
So how did you guys decide how much to raise, what valuation to raise at? How big a round did you guys close? You guys are still figuring this out for startup, right? So how did you get the guidance to, hey, let's go raise an angel round, jitna bhi raise karna hai, and then how did you figure out valuations, how much to dilute? How did you figure those things out?
I mean, these are the things that you can really figure out on the go. I mean, initially, if you just go with a thought like I have to raise, you will never able to raise, because that shouldn't be the mindset if you are building any startup or anything. So when we just started out, we saw, look, okay, now we have this much of runway left, and how much runway we really need to focus on to reach our next target, which was a kind of, we have set up a route. We will get this much of users and paid users onto our platform. This will give us this much of run. So we have calculated that amount, and after that, we have set up like in a valuation thing. Nowadays, valuation become a lot of more talking thing. But when you were raising, like valuation was not that talking thing into the market. Like people were able to raise like a good amount of money at a good amount of valuation. But as we enter into it, it started to get into down. Like everybody was saying valuation nahi, valuation nahi, valuation nahi. So we were also juggling ki kya kare. We have to go with a higher valuation.
So how did you figure out कि कितना raise करना है, क्या amount raise करना है, and कितने valuation पे करने हैं? Because at this point you have free users.
Yeah.
You haven't converted to paid. You haven't tried out pricing models. So you don't know you know a theoretical TAM, but everything else is a hypothesis, right? So अगर एक number भी गलत हो गया तो instead of raising at a 10 crore valuation, you're raising at a 5 crore for whatever, right? So that's a lot more dilution.
Right.
तो ये सब चीजें कैसे figure out किया?
I think initial time, to be honest, if I say you do not have to focus too much on valuation, right? And if you are getting a lower valuation, it's good, not too bad. Initial time, if you are just diluting 5 to 10% or maybe 15 to 20%, this is obvious. Because if you are raising on a higher valuation, it will be pretty harder for you to raise the next round. Yeah. And to be honest, in comparison to founder or investor is a better person for a valuation perspective because he's seeing a lot into the market.
But also on the flip side of that is an investor is incentivized differently, right? So they will try to dilute as much as possible just because that's where they get upside, right? So opinions are good from it, but I also feel like understanding how your industry is treated, how is the market treating it, how are other companies at this stage also pricing themselves, right? And I think there's also a market factor of Indian-based company versus US, Europe, right? So I think that affects your overall valuation decision as well.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, it affects, it definitely affects, but at a later stage, if I say this really affects you at a seed or series A stage, where you have to play with your valuation and all, because when you are just starting out, you have some users, you are just validating out with the users and all, we're still at an idea stage, and you need people who really back you for your rhythm, not for some taking percentage for some kind of money, giving out your money and taking some percentage. Then I mean you will able to save a lot of percentage for a company that you are not have a very good person around. So my mind process is little like in the initial time you really need a good backers You really need people who can support you and take you to the next step that you really want. And for that, it's okay. Let's really, you can get a little backside on a valuation mindset, but go on for a growth mindset.
100%. Yeah. So you guys raised the round. What is next steps, right? So you raise, I don't know, how big a round did you guys say? How was the big you were saying, Joel?
It was an undisclosed amount, but it was pretty small amount that gave us a runway for hiring a few team members, and can give us a runway for like 15 to 12 to 15 months of runway, right? So, I mean,
So how do you guys decide how to allocate, right? So is team more important? Is resources, infrastructure? How did you guys decide what to do with this money?
yeah. So as I said, like when we were raising, we had a mindset like or a milestone that we will achieve that. Okay, and that was a certain number of users. And for that certain number of users, we know that where we have to put money. So first of all, because we had an MVP at that time, we know we have to go with the product. We have to at least go with the beta version of it. Marketing will go with the flow. We will see like where is a better channel that we have to optimize, and then we have to put money out of it. So we haven't take money out for marketing at that time. We have take money out of building a product, getting into the users, validating it more, as getting some of the initial more validation. So we put that money more into the tech side of it because we are building a tech company. We are not building any like a non-tech company or just any D2C or something, right, where we have to think more about marketing. If our product is good, we will follow the PLG strategy and we will go with it. And that's how we really allocated. We were pretty conservative into that mindset. We will not spend any of the money. We are ready to just think, we will think into the next few months or so that we have wasted that money. So every penny that we were spending is on very good, or we can say on a product that really give us a growth for the next months.
Makes sense. So in terms of sort of co-founder split, co-founder equity, how do you guys manage that relationship, right? Because if it's just the two of you and in terms of decision makers, right? How do you resolve conflicts? How do you resolve if he wants to do it a different way, you want to do it a different way? How do you figure out those situations? Because you're also friends outside of this, right? So does that affect your business relationship, or how do you guys handle this dynamic?
Yeah, I think definitely if you are co-founders or if you are friends or anything, definitely conflict will happen. But the more time you spend with your co-founder, or the more time you live with them, you get to know about them better and they get to know about you better. So we are together from last 7 years. In our hometown in Mathura, we used to sit together in a classroom. When we both went to Kota, we both went Kota together. We used to, meet often, very often. And after that, we both come back to our hometown Mathura before college. We used to meet like every next day. And when coming to Delhi for college also, we rented out a flat where we both used to live together. So we are together from last 7 years and we know both each other. So the best thing is we know what we both can do, and where the decision of the both can be really matters. So whenever there is something about tech comes out there, I'm not the person who really take decision. He is the one, and I really respect that and I really understand that. And the second thing is whenever there's a business decision making process or business decision comes in, I'm the one who take decision, and he really respect that.
Yes.
So whenever there's like investor meet or whenever there's a business decision out there, like whether we have to take term sheet from this investor or not, I'm the one who make, and he really respect that. And we have to really clear on that on the first page when you are just starting out, and we have cleared it.
Yes.
And as you said about equity, so definitely it was an idea of both. It was a problem that we really want to start it out. Usually people really say do not split 50-50 when you are two founder, because one founder is taking decision and second is not. But we were very clear. We know like where we want to stand and where we can really build out a really big company, and in what terms we can really set it out. And that's how in the initial we thought, okay, now 50-50, we can really start it with that. And
what kind of vesting schedules did you guys use?
to be honest, like initially we did not done it, but later on, like when we got some legal teams out there, we have to do it. And we have done like a 4 to 5 year of vesting period.
Yes.
Yeah.
And do you have a cliff as well, like a 1-2 year cliff, or is it West from day one? The reason I ask is I interviewed someone a couple of weeks ago. They had a falling out with the CTO, and it was not the best falling out, but there was a 1-year cliff on all the shares. And so theoretically, the company didn't owe the CTO any shares or monetary benefit because nothing was officially signed. It was all in like practice, right? Ki theek hai, 50-50% hai, we'll do whatever, right?
Right.
But I think a lot of people assume that, okay, I'm building with a friend. That means we'll figure it out. We'll do things, and then things move too fast, and then you raise, and then I'm like, okay, who owns what, right? But I think it's nice that you were pretty clear from the starting key. This is a situation. You own this, I own tech, you own business. Let's figure that out. Nice. So after you raised, you're hiring a team, you're sort of trying to build the tech out. When do you guys move from a free to a paid version of the model, and how did you understand pricing?
To be honest, we have recently moved from free to paid. I would say like in August, we first moved from free to paid. And why we just shifted out from free to paid, we thought, okay, now it's the good time to go with a paid version. And people are really want to use a lot more than they are using right now. Because into the free version, because you are also stuck with server cost and all, and you are not able to give the user who really want to use more and have to go with a very basic vanilla. So we thought, okay, now it's the best time. People really want to use more. We have made it pay. Now, there's some strategy that people really use in like getting free to paid for the pricing decision is going from higher to lower. But to be honest, we did totally different. We go from lower to higher to see like what is the best conversion rate, because we want to improve the conversion rate into this industry, which is pretty back-faced. So initially we started with a very, very lower price, like what a user can really just throw out of his pocket to make money or just make it. Okay. So we started with, for Indian users and for US user, we have different pricing plan. So if I tell about Indian user, we go with the 99 rupees per month. And we saw in the first year, we got a lot of feed. We saw, okay, this is working good. We have run some A/B testing out of that. After that, we get to a 199 rupees plan. After that, we got to a 499. After that, we got to a 999. So we have juggle around that into that, and we see where we have.
Where we see the most conversion.
So for Indian, price is very sensitive. In US, it doesn't matter. So for Indians, like 499 plan was really good and sweet spot for them, who have a good conversion rate, who have a good benefit out of it. So it really worked out of it. But in the future, when you are getting more features in your product and you are growing more, you have to go with a bigger pricing play. So 499 was really good for us.
Is that profitable for a user from your point of view, or are you still losing money on that 499?
For me or for users?
No, so you are charging 499.
Yeah.
Your cost of serving them whatever they're using in that 499 plan,
All right.
is it costing you more than 499 or less?
To be honest, right now, we are costing a lot more.
So you're still burning trying to figure out LTV profitability, right?
Yeah, and there's a two reason. Like first of all, the burning rate that we are doing it of servers, right? And that is, we are right now supported by Google. They have gave us a very good amount of credit to go with the initial 1 or 2 year. And that's why we really want users, they use a lot more, that they really want. Okay. So we have seen a very good conversion rate. People were using more and let them use more.
So when you think about pricing, there's so many competitors in this space, right? I think Opus Clips is one of the more well-known ones. I've tried out probably 5 or 6 different clip generators, right? How do you try to differentiate yourself in terms of being aware for the competition, right? Because when I first was looking for a clip generator for the podcast, I probably tried 5 or 6 different ones. Everyone had free trials, decent output, and then I was trying to figure out, okay, which one do I need to do the least amount of work on to then be able to post it online? Because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding is that clip generation is not to the point where you can post your output directly. I think every clip, AI generated clip, needs a little bit of work, needs a little bit of fine tuning to sort of get it to that point of being a really polished short form video, right? But how do you think about trying to solve that problem as well as differentiating yourself from, because so many, and I think there's a new one that probably comes up every couple of weeks, some new generator with some different mode or some different idea, right?
Yeah, definitely. So as you said, like you have tried multiple tools till now. I would say right now we have like 10 to 20s out there. In the future we will have 50 to 70s out there. But nobody have a very great differentiation. As you mentioned, Opus Clip, and if you compare Opus Clip and Quickreel, we have a similar kind of results out there. Definitely, they are really good than us in marketing, in their interface and all. But the output is similar. And the reason is like what we are doing it. We are using some foundational model to get the some transcript and some important part, then doing some kind of editing and then giving it to you. That's what everyone is doing. If you tried out 7 to 8 tools, you have seen that. Yeah, nobody is doing something really different and out of the box. And the reason is like right now we are at the stage AI is not able to automate video editing completely because video editing is something that is dependent on person to person. What Abhinav really likes it, I do not like it. Right? Yeah. So how the AI will know? Like this will go onto the Abhinav profile or Abhinav assistant, right? So that we really all of our team, or if I can say all of our startups, really face this. Like what really a user want, we are not able to deliver into that way.
Do you think that challenge will be solved with tech over time?
I mean, if somebody really want to solve in that category, they have to take care of 2 3 things. Like for, if I say, first of all, if somebody will able to build a foundational model into that can really get the transcript, that can really work on social media, or that can really give you a short and the user satisfaction, they will be able. But that will be not the case because a company like us is a kind of application layer companies which not able to spend too much of money into the foundational models and LLMs. So that will be not the case. But the second case is get better at editing with the time. If, for example, Abhinav get a certain section of his clip, and now what right now happens is like there is a subtitle, there is a background music, there is a beat. Now what happens if the editing becomes more interesting, right? There's some effects out there. Okay, there is something that can really funky out there which is getting into the trend and which can really apply it. It will increase the probability. So that will happen into the future with the Quickreel that we are working on. We are working on some features that can really make, or I can say these are the pattern interrupts. What will it do? It will just, I mean, what is the retention span of a user who is watching on Reels? It was just 3 seconds. It's 3 seconds. Every 3 seconds, you have to make a new change it with the pay. That if you are able to do that, there is something and it will increase the visibility of your video. If I say like who will really able to crack that out, somebody who will able to figure out AGI into the first place. Yes. Because what will AGI do? AGI will rethink about the video that AI gives.
It'll like constantly reevaluate on every day, right?
Because it will have an emotion to see, okay, now this is a video that can really make it good, feeling good. And it will give you some kind of points and all, that this is a point you have to cross. Then that kind of the platform will really go to the first place.
Nice. What's top of mind for you in building Quickreel, right? Like, are you focused on acquisition? Are you focused on making the tech better? What does the next 6 months look like for your journey?
It has never been acted like when I was starting out. I mean, I did not know the real term of the BC. So how would I know the exit thing? So to be honest, like with a vision is like a scene from the starting day to the end day, to the make people or creators life easier, or somebody who is just working on video. It should be easier for them to create videos rather than they were doing into like a last period. So that's the vision. In the next 6 months, we are just looking out to launch some new features that will really reduce the time that people are really spending on. So, for example, recently we launched a feature which is AI background music. So, what it does, it really find out the mood of the video and automatically implements the background music. Yes, and it is pretty fantastic. People are really using it, and now our target is to get through the pattern interrupt, which will really add a new frame after every 3 seconds, which will make pretty interesting. These are the 2 3 things that we are focusing on, and also we are also focusing on the next side of thing is, okay, creator is a one part who is into the video. There's this very long or very big media agencies who are working on videos like OTT platforms and all. They really want this problem of solving, creating shots on a larger level. So we recently launched Quickreel APIs.
I think I was telling you what.
Yeah. So we have recently launched.
That is more, they send you a file,
Yeah.
you send them back clips for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like it will already happens into their platform. They do not have to come to Quickreel and
Nice.
that. So we are partnered with a Brazilian marketing agency recently, and they are using it. They have scaled their platform really well. So our next, I can say, step or next work in progress will be like focusing more of that.
Nice. Very cool. Creators as a customer base are notoriously known for not being able to pay because a lot of early creators don't have the money. And as you become a bigger creator, you end up having a team and an editor, and like you don't really need to worry about the pricing of a tool, right? So how do you think about pricing? Because your customer right now is varied, right? You either have one end of the spectrum where they're a full-time creator and they can afford anything they need, or you have a creator who's starting out who's really cost conscious, doesn't have a lot of time and money to spend. So how do you figure out, how do you try to market and sell to this customer base? Just because and correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're two extremes, right? Maybe I'm a little wrong about that, but yeah.
But yeah, definitely you answered your own question. Like as you said, like there's a one people who in the initial they don't have money. There's a some peoples who are really big. They have their own team. They have a very big editors out there who are doing awesome job. But there's a very big segments out there into the meta who is earning money, but they do not have the ability to hire editors. So they are just sitting into the fence of a thing, and to go out of that fence, they really need something which can really help them grow. And for that, you should have a growth mindset. So we really have a target of creators who have a growth mindset, who really want to grow, who have an aspiration to become a better creator. And that's what we say to our creators. If you are just creating content to just go out, no, don't do it. Just go to become better at it. And if people really want to do that, and to be honest, if I say there's a more than 40 million creators all over the globe who is creating video content, and they have more than 1,000 followers and less than 100K. And these are the people who really live into our piece.
Nice. Okay, good. What challenge is most top of mind for you? Like, what is the biggest problem you're trying to solve right now, currently? Why at the time of recording?
Kind of like, I'll elaborate this question like in a kind of deeply into the Quickreel product or into the
No,
business.
just in general, what is the biggest challenge top of mind for you, right? Is it personal, company, growth, product vision? Like, what are you most focused on currently?
And definitely like everyday challenges really change, because if you are in a startup now, if you are just waking up today, like today I woke up and my challenge was to launch a product, launch a feature that we were working on last 2 to 3 weeks, which is SEM to automatically remove the background, and we are working on it. So that was a challenge for my class. But if I talk about a broader perspective, so I really want to change the way creator economy have been seen from the third lens.
Nice.
People really see it as a not very big industry, not a very fancy industry, or not something that can really grow out. But to be honest, creator really want to pay at some level. Like it is a misconception that we have that creators don't pay, but they really pay. And people will have to realize their ability, or maybe their uh, their way of creating content, or their way of going out into the market.
Nice. I like that. Towards the end of every episode, I like asking some rapid fire questions. So, a couple questions for you. What is your tech stack and how are you running your company? And walk me through all the tools that you can, top to bottom, right? Like marketing, tech stack, whatever you can walk me through.
Yeah, definitely. So if you tell about if I tell about our tech stack, definitely we are using some frameworks like React.js for the front end. For the back end, we are using Node.js. For the video processing, we are using Pack. Our cloud is posted on Google, AWS, and Microsoft. So these are the basic things that we are using it. And something really different, I would say, we are using it right now. We have recently enabled in our organization, of I can say in our startup, is using of Cursor AI more and more.
What?
Okay, so that is really increasing the productivity of our team. So this is what we are using it. And
What other software tools, marketing, email, social media? Like, do you have any specific tools or softwares you use on that front?
On the email side, we really use, in the initial start, I use called MailerLite. Okay. Right. But it is pretty expensive for the Indians. And you also get some credits from AWS for the emails also. So right now we are using AWS for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Simple use.
Yeah. So we are using that right now. But if you are like starting with the initial, having a very low user base, you can really use MailerLite. It is very good for the initial time. It is cheap for initial time, but as you are growing it, they have a very expensive rate that we are not using it right now. But into the future, when we are deploying out and having a big pocket, big cash in our pocket, we will maybe later use it.
Nice. Cool. What are some 3 resources that you'd recommend for founders listing, first-time founders? Any kind of resource, book, podcast, links, sort of.
First of all, talk to as many founders you can talk. I mean, books and podcasts are really good, but get some real insights or get some real feedback from the people, because then I started 30-40 people I talked with, and about that like 20-25 will said like, no, don't do it, you will not do it, do something else. But 5 people really said it, okay, you can do it. And those are the people who are sitting onto the like having a lot of growth into their startups and all, and that gives you a really good motivation, really good and real-time market insights, right? So you can do that first. About the second thing that you can really do, if you are just starting out and you have zero knowledge about a startup, you can watch Y Combinator startup school series that I also watched into the initial time. And the third thing, which will be like a pretty out of the box that I'm telling it, but if you are just starting out, watch a series called Silicon Valley in HBO. It's present on HBO. It will give you a very good motivation. It will give you a really fun perspective of running a startup and some small insight that you will not able to learn when you are just sitting out and learning. But you are grabbing those things like how the funding runs, how to really run the startup from a small garage and all. So that gives you a
First time someone's recommended a TV show. Sweet. I do this bit at the end where I'll ask you a last question from one of my previous guests, and then I'll ask you to give me a question for whoever my next guest is. So your question: what is the one consistent thing that your business needs to do right now that you're not doing, and why aren't you doing?
To be honest, like I would say, getting to more people. As I said, like we want to reach 1 million people, but we are not doing any marketing thing. We have to do it, and the reason that we are not doing it is a kind of a capital constraint, or we have a capital constraint and we do not have the right channel to go with it. Right? When you have
So you're afraid of burning cash.
exactly. So to be honest, if you are running a startup, you have to be little bold into that step that I am not doing it. But yeah, definitely at some point of the time, this mindset shouldn't be of a mindset of a founder, but you get a little hold back onto some steps. Yeah. But I'm improving it. I'm taking some big bets. I am taking some bold decisions out there, learning it. And yeah, as soon as we will do it.
What channel are you bullish on? What do you think is going to work for your audience?
For me, influencers. Like
Influencer marketing.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of influencer partners, I can say. Whenever an influencer is suggesting you a product which he's using, because right now, like, I will stretch a little more on this part also, because right now, what influencers are doing? Influencers are suggesting B2C brands, suggesting anything out there, okay? They are not, maybe they are using it or maybe they are not using it. People are really unaware about it. But somebody who is creating content, who is their day job, who is their bread and butter, and recommending some creator products out there, it will have a higher chances to go onto that category. So I think that would be a very good channel for a product like Quickreel.
Nice. Very cool. But yeah, what's your question for my next guest?
I would definitely say like to your next guest, like what do you think India is doing wrong in not producing innovative startup and building application layer startup? Because if you tell about like innovative or something really coming out from a ground or coming out from very basic, that is creating a very different or unique thing that is still not coming out from India.
Got it.
Like for example, Microsoft, Google, anything that we are using it right now on mobile phone, WhatsApp and all, they are all from US. why you're not able to quote.
Nice. I like that. Cool. But no, I appreciate the time. I think that's all the questions I had for you. Where should people reach out? What can you plug? What do we link for you?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm pretty easily reachable person. I'm easily reachable on LinkedIn. So as I reach out to you on LinkedIn, I'm big on it. I really watch it every day, every hour. So if you send me requests with some notes, add into it, I will definitely accept it. The second way, if by any chance I'm not able to accept your LinkedIn request, you can reach out to me on my email. It's ansh@quickreel.io.
And we link everything in the description here.
Yeah, for sure.
And then where should they find out more about your product? What's the best way to
Yeah, I mean,
test out?
the best way is to type Quickreel into Google or maybe quickreel.io into your browser. You can really find out the product out there. You can really try it out.
Nice. Well, thank you for coming on.